In the early 1960s, the automotive world was changing. Muscle cars ruled the streets, but they were about to meet their match. Engineers, eager to push the boundaries of speed, began crafting an engine that would forever alter the landscape of muscle cars. This wasn't just any engine, it was designed to break records. The engine was an engineering marvel, a masterpiece of power, precision, and ambition. It was built to outpace everything else on the road, with more horsepower and torque than any of its contemporaries. It wasn't just about speed, it was about domination. The creators envisioned a new kind of muscle car, one that could leave the competition in the dust, setting a new standard for what performance meant. But as with all things that challenged the status quo, this power came with consequences. Beneath its raw performance was a storm waiting to break. As the engine's power became clear, so did its danger. It wasn't just faster, it was too fast, unpredictable, and uncontrollable. This was an engine that didn't just threaten competitors, it threatened the very foundation of the muscle car industry. It was unlike anything the car world had seen, and the industry wasn't ready for the storm it was about to unleash. Automakers had built their reputation on powerful engines, but this new force was on a different level. The engine's potential was staggering, but so was the risk. It could redefine the entire muscle car genre, leaving behind the vehicles that had once defined American performance. The industry began to recognize that this wasn't just an engine, it was a revolution, one that would either redefine or destroy everything they had worked to build. In an era defined by the roar of V8 engines, the engineers tasked with creating this powerhouse had one goal: to build something that would eclipse everything before it. GMC, a company known for its trucks, saw an opportunity to make history. But they didn't just want to build another muscle car. They wanted to create a machine that would define the next chapter of performance. This wasn't just about power. It was about engineering a vehicle that could push the limits of speed and endurance. The team worked tirelessly, refining the engine's design, enhancing its performance, and ensuring it could hold its own on any track or street. What they created was no longer just a car. It was a weapon of engineering, precision, and ambition. The vision was clear: build a car that would force the world to take notice, one that could go head-to-head with the most legendary supercars of the time. At the core of this performance powerhouse was the engine, a turbocharged 4.3-litre V6 that wasn't just fast, but revolutionary. This engine wasn't about sheer horsepower alone. It was about harnessing the power efficiently. Paired with an all-wheel drive system, it allowed the engine to put its massive torque to the ground without losing traction, giving the vehicle a level of control that had never been seen in a muscle car before. The Cyclone wasn't just engineered for speed. It was engineered for dominance. Every part of the design worked in harmony to create a vehicle that could handle not just power, but the brutal forces of the road. The result? A performance monster that was as precise as it was fast, capable of taking on the finest supercars in the world. When the GMC Syclone hit the streets, the automotive world was turned on its head. This wasn't just a pickup truck. It was a supercar in disguise. With its turbocharged 4.3-litre V6 engine and all-wheel drive system, the Cyclone was faster than some of the most iconic performance cars of the era. 0 to 60 miles per hour in 4.3 seconds. That wasn't just quick for a truck. That was quicker than the Ferrari 348, the Porsche 911, and even the Chevrolet Corvette, cars that were built to be the epitome of speed and power. On the drag strip, the Cyclone wasn't just keeping up, it was dominating. The sound of its turbocharged engine filled the air as it tore down the quarter-mile faster than supercars that cost 10 times as much. It was a street-legal monster that stunned everyone who witnessed it, showing that a pickup truck could outpace the finest machines on the road. The Cyclone wasn't just fast, it was a spectacle. Car enthusiasts and everyday drivers alike couldn't believe what they were seeing. A truck was outrunning the best supercars on the market. Everywhere it went, heads turned and jaws dropped. This wasn't just about performance. It was about shattering expectations. The Cyclone was proof that the definition of what a performance vehicle could be was about to change. A pickup wasn't supposed to be this fast, this precise, this powerful, and yet there it was, turning every race into a showdown, one that it was destined to win. The Cyclone's entry into the performance car world wasn't just a surprise, it was a shockwave. At the time, supercars like the Ferrari 348, Porsche 911 and the Chevrolet Corvette were the gold standard. These cars were the epitome of speed, luxury and craftsmanship. Yet, against all expectations, the Cyclone was outpacing them. Not just keeping up, but outright defeating them. With a turbocharged 4.3-litre V6 engine, the Cyclone wasn't just about speed in a straight line. Its all-wheel drive system gave it unparalleled control and traction, which allowed it to maintain acceleration and precision that supercars couldn't match. This wasn't just a pickup truck challenging supercars, it was a pickup rewriting the rules of performance. The Cyclone didn't just outperform these legends, it humiliated them. The Cyclone didn't just compete, it broke records. In an era where muscle cars were measured by their quarter-mile times and 0 to 60 acceleration, the Cyclone shattered expectations. With its record-breaking acceleration of 4.3 seconds from 0 to 60 miles per hour, it became one of the fastest vehicles of its time, faster than many sports cars that cost far more. At the drag strip, the Cyclone was unstoppable. It consistently outran rivals, setting the benchmark for performance in a pickup truck. What made the Cyclone remarkable wasn't just its speed. It was the seamless way it combined raw power with control. It was a true game changer, rewriting the rules of what a pickup could achieve. Despite its groundbreaking performance, the GMC Syclone's time in the spotlight was tragically short. Produced for just 2 years, from 1991 to 1992, the truck's impact on the automotive world was immense, but its production numbers were small, only 2,995 units. In an era when SUVs were becoming the next big thing, and muscle cars were on the decline, the Cyclone was a rare breed. The automotive market wasn't ready for a performance-oriented pickup. While car enthusiasts were mesmerized by the Cyclone's power, mainstream buyers couldn't see past its truck origins. As the muscle car world began to shift toward more family-oriented vehicles, the Cyclone was quickly overshadowed by the rise of SUVs and the evolving performance market. Despite its incredible potential, it was left in the dust, its legacy almost erased by changing consumer trends. Though the Cyclone was discontinued and largely forgotten by the mass market, its legend lived on in the hearts of car collectors and enthusiasts. Over time, the rarity and performance of the Cyclone made it a sought-after gem. The truck found its place in the world of classic car collectors, where its story was celebrated rather than buried. It wasn't just a forgotten relic, it became a symbol of what could have been and what might still be possible in future performance trucks. The Cyclone's influence never truly faded. It simply lay in wait for a new generation to discover it. As the performance truck market began to evolve, the seeds planted by the Cyclone grew into something much bigger. Modern performance trucks, like the Ford Raptor and Ram TRX, owe a significant debt to the Cyclone's legacy. These trucks, built for both power and precision, carry the torch that the Cyclone once lit. The Raptor's supercharged V8 and the TRX's high-performance capabilities are direct descendants of the vision that created the Cyclone. In the early 1990s, the idea of a high-performance truck was revolutionary. Now, it's a segment of its own, with manufacturers pushing the limits of what trucks can do. The Cyclone wasn't just an outlier in its time. It was a glimpse into the future. It showed the world that trucks weren't just for hauling. They could perform, compete, and even dominate, setting the stage for today's modern muscle trucks. The GMC Syclone wasn't just a truck. It was a testament to what engineering can achieve when the limits of performance are pushed. In an era dominated by muscle cars and V8 engines, the Cyclone's turbocharged 4.3-litre V6 showed that power wasn't solely about sheer engine size. It was about harnessing and controlling the force under the hood. The Cyclone proved that performance isn't confined to one category. Trucks, which were traditionally built for utility and heavy lifting, could also be powerful and fast. The ability to launch from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 4.3 seconds wasn't just a feat for sports cars. It showed that engineering could redefine the boundaries of what any vehicle could do. The Cyclone taught the world that performance is about much more than horsepower. It's about how the vehicle manages and delivers it. The real secret behind the Cyclone wasn't just its turbocharged engine or all-wheel drive. It was the precision with which everything was engineered. The team behind the Cyclone understood that true performance comes not just from speed, but from balance. From the suspension system to the weight distribution, every detail was designed to keep the truck planted on the ground and in control, no matter the power it unleashed. Unlike many muscle cars that relied on raw power alone, the Cyclone's engineers focused on delivering power with control. They combined speed with handling, ensuring that the Cyclone wasn't just fast in a straight line, but could corner, accelerate, and maneuver with the finesse of a world-class performance car. The Cyclone wasn't a one-trick pony. It was a perfectly engineered machine. As the performance truck segment grew, so did the Cyclone's following. Online communities, car auctions, and enthusiast groups became the new home for the Cyclone's legacy. Younger generations, who had never seen the truck in its prime, began to discover it through stories, videos, and car culture. Collectors and fans, who once dismissed it as a niche curiosity, now recognized its brilliance. The Cyclone's short production run didn't diminish its impact. Instead, it added to its mystique. For many, it was a symbol of untapped potential, a glimpse of what performance trucks could have been all along. The GMC Syclone may have only lasted for a brief period, but its impact on the automotive world is undeniable. Today, it stands as a symbol of what could have been, a performance truck that reshaped the future of muscle cars. While it may have been overshadowed by other trends and overshadowed by the rise of SUVs, the Cyclone's legacy remains etched in the history of American performance vehicles. Car enthusiasts and collectors continue to celebrate the Cyclone for its bold engineering, groundbreaking performance, and the audacity to challenge the muscle car world. It wasn't just a truck, it was a revolution waiting to happen. In every corner of the automotive world, its legacy is felt, inspiring the next generation of performance trucks and vehicles that dare to break the rules. The Cyclone's influence extends far beyond its limited production run. Modern performance trucks, like the Ford Raptor and Ram TRX, have redefined what a truck can be, and their origins can be traced back to the spirit of the Cyclone. Though the truck itself is no longer in production, its engineering principles, turbocharged power, all-wheel drive, and precision handling continue to shape the performance truck market today. Collectors and enthusiasts keep the Cyclone's legacy alive, finding new ways to appreciate and honor its place in automotive history. It may have been ahead of its time, but as the performance truck market continues to evolve, the Cyclone's influence is undeniable. The spirit of the Cyclone is still alive and well, inspiring the next wave of high-performance trucks.